Hello everyone. In this video, I will talk about DevOps best practices. So the main purpose of DevOps is to deliver new releases of an application faster and in shorter cycles. So let's have a quick look at how can we achieve this by following some of the best practices. So the very first one is to automate everything. And it includes your deployment, testing, application security, and its infrastructure, because when the task is done manually, there is a high risk of error in its execution, which unnecessarily creates the deployment cycles to be delayed. So now we can add traces, we can add logs to monitor automated systems, and once these things are automated using scripts, they can easily be integrated and executed in CICD pipelines. And another advantage of automation is that developers and the operational team can spend more time focusing on their core functionalities rather than fixing the issues which occur during the implementation of DevOps. Okay, the another one is to have the robust CI/CD pipeline, and this is one of the important recommendation, and it says that you should set up your CI/CD pipeline as early as possible. So in fact, we can do it at this project launch itself rather than waiting until our project is finished and then set up everything. And the another benefit of setting it up so early is that we can verify and compile our code as soon as it is checked in, or as soon as we are writing a first line of code. So rather than pushing everything to the last moment, it is always good to do it as early as possible. And as soon as the environment is provisioned, immediately we can create a deployment pipeline which will allow the application to be deployed and tested in this environment. So once the initial pipeline is in place, rest of the tasks like unit testing, unit test execution, and all those things can be taken into consideration as our project progresses. And it is also important to optimize the process of the CI/CD pipeline by having it run very quickly. We do not want to take it like 10 hours, 12 hours to finish one run. So, but if you still feel that there are some tasks, there are some processes which are very time consuming and are taking too long to run, something like our integration tests. So in that case, the good idea is to start the execution probably in off hours, probably at late night when we are not doing much activities. So it will speed up the things little bit. Another thing is selecting the right tool. So this could be one of the biggest challenges when somebody is dealing with DevOps for the very first time. There are many tools which are paid, there are many tools which are like free, open source you can say, and all those allows you to do versioning, process automation, implement CI/CD pipeline, test, and as well as monitor your application. And along with these tools, we do have scripting languages like PowerShell, Bash, Python, and all these. So these are also part of our DevOps suite and are very much needed to integrate these tools together with our code. So in this situation, the question is how can we choose the right tool? Which tool is best for us? Now here selection or the choice of tool completely depends on many factors, I would say. So it depends on your team, it depends on your company model, it depends on your company's financial system, whether they are ready to invest, or because the financial system will tell you whether you should go with open source or you are good to go with the paid tool. So both of these have their own advantages as well as disadvantages, but again we need to consider all these three factors primarily when considering the tools. And similarly, the choice for scripting language, it also depends on the knowledge of the team which is going to work on it, because like DevOps team who are more trained on Linux system are very much inclined toward Bash script, but those teams who are working mainly on Windows system would probably prefer PowerShell. So scripting language choice is completely on the team who is working. Another thing is to write all the configuration in the code. So writing the desired infrastructure configuration in code offers many advantages to both team as well as company's productivity. So it is therefore recommended to put everything related to infrastructure and the configuration in the code itself. So if your configuration is present in code, it would be very easy to integrate the tools, it would be very easy to change it, and it would like make everyone aware in the team that what is the configuration we are following. And the one which is like my personal favorite is this system architecture. So in order to take advantage of DevOps culture to deploy application in the cloud, there are good practices which we need to consider when designing softwares. And when we are saying good practices, bad practices related to architecture, it means we need some architects to review our system, right? So both cloud architects as well as developers must work hand in hand to ensure that the application developed is in line with the different components of the architecture. And in addition to this collaboration, security teams must also provide their inputs and specification related to the application. So in order to be able to deploy a new version of the application more frequently without impacting all the features, it is recommended that you write loosely coupled code. Your different areas should be separated completely. And if you are separating your code, it would be much more maintainable and scalable, and it would help you in your faster deployment without having to redeploy everything every time whenever you are changing the code. So these are my few recommendations whenever you are going for DevOps. I hope you enjoyed this short video, and thanks for watching.